guys we're doing. Now let me touch the last one before we close, right? Because I think I've been able to explain the six. Yes, and I told you the last 6 has to do with the 6G, which is talking about the 6th generation. And I told you that when that happens, we should go and look around if the things that the Bible told us were supposed to happen before the time are already happening. Now let me touch this last. I think I've talked about the gene editing for animals. For animals, right? When I talk about they can splice. Right now, there's nothing that cannot be edited in there's nothing. Science can edit anything by just
the human brain can be edited.
Everything can be edited by just splicing the genes of this one or the DNA of this to the DNA of this, and we get a brand new species. The last one is the manipulating genes technique. Manipulating gene technique. Let me just read it. It was engineered by a scientist called Kelvin Ellsworth, an evolutionary engineer. Now, what Kelvin Ellsworth came, to introduce, right? It's like editing the gene of a tortoise or a lion, right? After I edit the gene of a lion, we get a new species, yes, right? But what happens when it reproduces? Can it reproduce after its kind? Because what Kelvin Ellsworth wanted to, bring into being is, if I tinker with the DNA of the lion and I introduce another lion, can we put an instruction inside the DNA of the other species that the other species would only reproduce after the instruction that they have put inside? Now, for instance, let me give you for instance. Now, this will blow your mind. I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'm just giving for instance. Imagine that you've watched film like vampires. Imagine that these billionaires that are very mad, the Bible talked about them in the book of Jude, that they desire to defile the flesh. This is the book of Jude. Now, imagine that you've watched film like vampires. Imagine that these disciples, since they feel they are good in gene editing and this is the best technology that they've ever done since Adam, right? Imagine that they come together and said, okay, let us see if we can create vampires. Mixing the gene of a bat with human, because they're already mixing the gene of a human with a pig, so nothing stops them to mix the gene of a bat with a human. Nothing stops them. Now, when they mix the gene of a bat to a human, because the woman is a gate. Now remember, even now science, they don't even need women anymore, because they have discovered a new way to do this, which is called artificial womb. They can use artificial womb to do it. All they just need is
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus. A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year.
All they just need is maybe the embryo of any of these species, and they're able to create another new species. Now, imagine I mix the gene of a bat with the gene of a human. Now let me read what Kelvin Esvort said. Instead of editing the genome, we teach or instruct the genome to do a gene editing itself or on its own. It gives animals a set of genetic instruction so the genome can edit itself and their offspring. Right? He said it is self-replicating. That means it can replicate after the kind they instructed it to replicate after. I think we had the video. I think I will just have the video one time so you see for yourself. Right?
New technologies have given us unprecedented power to manipulate DNA. And it's not just human genes. The entire natural world can now be engineered.
I think there are much bigger problems than what human beings are doing to human beings. The big question to me is, what are we doing to other life forms?
CRISPR opened the floodgates to modifying the genomes of everything. This is a tidal wave of technology that is going to consume and touch every aspect of biology.
Kevin S. Velt broke open the floodgates. With an idea so powerful, science is still catching its collective breath.
I was walking through a park, looking at all the different organisms. I saw a turtle that day in the water. And I wondered, are any of these ever going to be edited? If we were to edit that turtle, then it wouldn't reproduce as well as the wild turtles. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. What if we, instead of editing the genome, we teach the genome how to do genome editing on its own?
Called an engineered gene drive. And it does much more than slice into DNA. It gives animals a set of genetic instructions so their genomes can edit themselves and their offspring. Now humans have the ability to change the course of evolution.
Wouldn't it be lovely if we could tweak mosquitoes so they don't spread disease?
The key to the gene drive is that it's self-replicating. The edited mosquito always passes the altered gene to its offspring. Even when it mates with an ordinary mosquito, the next generation will inherit the new gene. And so on, and so on. Until the new gene takes over a population.
Right? He said even if they mate in this with the same species, the next generation would possess a new gene. So the new gene takes over the population. So if they want to create a gene of Nephilims, of fallen angels, what would they do? The seeds of the serpents. Gene edited. It's possible. Jesus says, such as the days of Noah. We are seeing the technology already. There is nothing stopping these people from bringing that seed again once on earth. But to cut the long story here, they are already here.
It's mind blowing.
And all the things we would need to know if the times are close. I don't know what to tell again. I don't know what to say again. All I could tell you is do your research. Don't believe me for what I say. Go do your research. Get to know for yourself. This is just something the Spirit of God told me to, come out and tell people.
Yes.
And I think I've done my part. Remember, I've helped you to understand the 666, and I told you that it's a prophecy where the enemy planned to take over the world. So please, I'd like you to share this video, like and subscribe. Over to you.
Firstly, sir, I thank you for this presentation you brought forth. I'm just short of words, sir, because you really touch the main part. Like, I don't really know what to say, sir. But I appreciate you for making us to be aware of such, of what is going on.
Yeah.
Because all these are things that will happen, and a lot of people don't really know about
They're not
it.
aware. Yeah.
And so I will appreciate you for this great knowledge you've shared to us.
Thank you.
And for we the listeners, I'd like you to share, go to the comment section, ask questions, share this video, like and post. I would like it to be on our next set. Thank you.
Thank you so much.